Here is question number 3, part A. This is a question from section 7.3. So this is a trigonometric substitution question. In there we said if we have square root of a square minus x square format, then our substitution which will work is a sine theta. In this question we have 1 minus x square, so a is 1. That means our substitution will be 1 sine theta. 1 doesn't multiply, doesn't do anything, so it's just sine theta. Differentiating that, derivative is cosine theta d theta. Let's substitute. X cube, so that will become sine cube theta. Square root of 1 minus sine square theta. And the dx is cosine theta d theta. Now, this one you remember, 1 minus sine square theta should be replaced by cosine square theta. This is from trigonometry. So that means our integral is sine cube theta by cosine square theta square root times cosine theta d theta. Now we know that square root of cosine square is just cosine theta. Cosine theta is here also. And this cosine and cosine will cancel. So what we have now is sine cube theta. This becomes like a trigonometric with odd power of sine. So this goes back into 7.2. So if we had odd powers of sine, we peel one sine theta and put it with d theta. And we change the remaining sine squares to cosine square using this formula. And we use the u substitution. So what do we put u as? Cosine theta. So du will be negative sine theta d theta. Sine theta d theta is already there. So sine theta d theta is equal to negative du. Integral 1 minus cosine is u square. Sine theta d theta is negative du. So I'm going to write du and negative out. I think now we are ready to integrate. Integral of 1 is u and integral of u square is u cubed by 3 plus c. By using u back, this will be negative cosine theta because negative inside plus cosine cube theta by 3 plus c. Now we're done with integration, but you notice the original question was in the terms of x. So our final answer should also be in terms of x. How do we do that? So for that, I use my original substitution. Let's write this here on the side. I'm going to use x was sine theta. There's nothing in the denominator, so it can be written as x by 1. If I use my right angle strategy, and this angle is theta, sine theta is usually opposite by hypotenuse. So opposite can be treated as x and hypotenuse as 1 using these two comparisons. Using Pythagorean theorem, this would be hypotenuse square minus the opposite leg square. Now we want cosine theta. Cosine theta is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. So that will be square root of 1 minus x square by 1. So we can simply just write 1 minus x square square root. So let's see our answer. Negative square root 1 minus x square plus 1 minus x square power 3 by 3 plus c. This one we can also write as, we can just get rid of the square root also, and this can be written as power 3 by 2. this is your final answer because now it is in terms of x.